All right. Well, welcome to the KC Stars, where we talk to people in the local Kansas City film community. And I have with me Nathaniel Thomas, or Nathan Thomas, who is a cinematographer. That's what he calls himself. But I also saw he has a lot more behind his name on IMDb. So I'll call him a filmmaker as well.
Oh,
Let you introduce yourself, sir.
I like that. Thank you. Thank you for having me. This is really exciting to be here with you. Um, yeah, as Kyle said, my name's Nathan Thomas, and filmmaker works for me. It is something that I really, really, really enjoy doing. Do you want me to talk about why I'm in Kansas and all of that stuff, or you want to get to
Everything.
that?
I want you to tell me
My
everything.
life story.
Starting with when you were 1 years old. I don't want to know where you were born. When you were one. No, just
At
kidding.
one, at 1 years old, I was living in Kansas City, Kansas. So yeah, originally from Kansas City, Kansas, and my parents moved us to Shawnee in the mid '80s. So I'm a native from the area. Um, I was really, really interested in computers from about age 3. Commodore VIC-20, Commodore 64, eventually IBM PC compatible. And so I was writing software and kind of expanding my mind in that realm of things from the technical perspective from really, really early on. I was really fortunate to have had that background and accessibility of the technology to kind of like steer me through life's paths. Went to high school at Shawnee Mission Northwest, and after I graduated there, I have a younger sister who had been dancing since she was 3, and she needed help in a dance recital, and I had never done any performance, never done any dance, never really showed any interest in that. But it was something new, and at that point, at 18, was kind of interesting to give it a shot. That's kind of like my rule of life is to give it a shot and see how it goes and kind of figure it out, right? So I started dancing at 18, and then a couple of years later, I was able to work on cruise ships and travel the world and dance across
Wow.
Europe, and so I've been really, really fortunate to have almost stumbled upon the things that fill me with joy and happiness from a lot of it. And I mean that's kind of my background.
That's
That's why
fantastic.
I'm interested in arts and technology in a combination of the two.
Yeah. So, now besides your dancing, then get us up to you're done dancing. What do you do? You're done with the cruise ships.
Yeah.
Tell me what do you do? Because I kind of want to know how you got to be a cinematographer and filmmaker.
Right. Okay. So let's jump forward to 2007, and I'm done with the last contract that I did on a cruise ship, which happened to be a world cruise. So if you look at my Instagram, a lot of those photos are from random places around the globe. Just been so fortunate to been able to go to these places. But so after that last contract, I come back to Kansas City, and I'm still in dancing mode. So I do a couple of shows at the Jewish Community Center. Children of Eden was the first show I did when I came back, and I actually met my now wife there when I showed up to do that show. I did 1776, Oliver. I did West Side Story there too, but that was before. And then the last performance that I did in Kansas City in that kind of space was Altar Boys in 2009, and we did a second run in 2010. And I actually was only brought on for Altar Boys to choreograph the show. But there was something happened with one of the characters where he wasn't able to do the show. So I knew the show, I can sing, I choreographed it so I could dance it.
Wow.
So I
Wow.
ended up having to step in really close to the runtime there to help the show actually run, and that was such an incredible experience, such an incredible group of guys to perform with on stage. That was down at the I don't know what it's called now. It was H&R Block. Um, Theater at the time. It's the one in Union Station, downstairs in that little rotunda area.
That's a
Um,
spectacular story, by the way. That is spectacular.
again, just like so so incredibly thankful to have almost prepared myself in a way to be able to to step in at that last moment for that show there. Um, After that, I moved with my wife. Her name is Sarah. We moved to Pittsburgh for a couple of years, and then Florida for about 9 years. For
Pittsburgh, Kansas, or
no,
Pittsburgh,
sorry,
Pennsylvania?
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Okay.
Did a couple of winters there. And then we moved to Florida for business reasons. And we're down there until this is a very long-winded story. We were down there until 2019 when we came back to Kansas. She's originally from here as well. And then COVID happened, and so I kind of got reacquainted with my love for movies and television, and that kind of uh, happiness and joy of visual arts kind of started developing in within me again. And then when I came back, I had actually signed up with Andy Garrison at the actor training studio. So I had been acting locally in classes there from 2019 when we came back. And we continued on Zoom during some of that. And it just was something that I felt that I needed to do was figure out how to make my own thing. So in the cinematography realm, that for me, it is a perfect combination of visual artistry or the attempt to do so, sometimes succeeding, sometimes failing, and the technical perspective of how do you operate this equipment to achieve that goal. So it for me really activates the wholeness of my brain and really helps me dial in to that very, very present moment. When I'm operating the camera, I really feel almost as if I'm dancing again. So it kind of ticks that mark again for me.
Well,
So that's
how
Go
did you
ahead.
learn how to be a cinematographer?
Figured it out. Watched a lot of stuff, a lot of behind. I've been watching behind the scenes things for forever. But it was figure something out, practice it, try it, go do it, rinse and repeat, just over and over as fast as I possibly could. I have an obsessive personality, so if I'm focused on something, that is the one thing that I am going to do until I burn out. I'm trying to mitigate that burnout so that I can continue uh, going along and not burning out. But that's just how I learn things. That's how I figure stuff out. Is I obsess about it until I'm happy with the result, and then I push a little more.
I like it because I have some similar traits in that the problem is like once you get really good at something, it's the desire to continue to do it sometimes is not there.
Yeah, that can happen.
But yeah, I met someone years ago. I used to have jobs where I was hiring people at different points in my life, and I can remember someone saying, I said, "What's your best skill?" They said, "My best skill is acquiring new skills." And I always thought, I kind of like that.
It's incredible.
I'm going to
I'm gonna
use
go ahead
that.
and steal that. I'm gonna
Yeah,
steal
I'm
that
going
and
to
put it in
use
my back
that.
pocket.
Yeah. So the cinematography, you just figured it out by doing stuff. Did you work with anyone or have a mentor or anything like that? Or
I would love to have a mentor. So if anyone is does that, like hit me up and I would love to have somebody to bounce ideas off of. Um, for me, it's been go, 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 go. And it's not acquire, but acquire is the wrong verb, but it's discover and find and connect with people. Um, I mean, I connected with you on a set for Wicked Deeds. You had that big hat. Um,
yeah, pretty obnoxious.
yeah. No, it was all I loved it. It looked so good. It looks so good in those frames. But it's about for me, it's about stumbling upon things. Um, what I've what I've what I've discovered in myself is that I go if I go out seeking something, I'm not gonna find it. What happens in a recognized pattern, what usually works for me is I stumble upon those things. Um, I stumble upon those people. I stumble upon those skills. And I work very hard to prepare myself so that when I do stumble upon something, I can engage with it. I can interact with it. I can discover that thing and really kind of dig in or connect with that person or create something with them. So I forgot what the question was. I'm rambling.
That's okay. That's okay. I was thinking of something else. You went to acting classes for years, and I know you met some of the people that you currently work with in those
Yeah.
classes, but you personally don't act a lot.
I don't currently act a lot. That is something that my obsession is spinning up towards, where it is to request an audition daily right now. In Florida, I did do a couple of years of acting classes down there at oh, what was it called? Class Act Studios
Mhm.
in South Orlando, and I met some incredible people there. I did a short film with them out of that class, and through that connection, I actually not really an agent or a manager, but there's a company down there that I think there are several, but there's a company down there that casts background for industrial work in Disney and Universal and all of that stuff. So
Oh,
I
okay.
got to be in Pandora at 1 o'clock in the morning in Universal Studios
Oh, wow. So were you in
with
Orlando in that area?
yeah, I was in Central Florida. I live just a little bit north of that, but I was in Orlando a lot. But I had the opportunity to be um, in these theme parks with no one else around except for the people that I'm acting with for, internal commercials or whatever they were doing,
Yeah.
that stuff for. There was one Christmas ad. I think yeah.
That's really interesting. What do you want to accomplish in like with your filming, your cinematography?
Oof. That is okay. So for me, goals generally don't work, but a direction does. So
Yeah.
what I want to accomplish is to keep going. I want to keep doing this. I want to continue accelerating, and then discover what I can additional along that path, right? Um, so like if you were asking me, what do you want to be in, or where do you want to be, or what do you want to have done in 5 years? I don't have an answer for you, other than
You were looking at my question.
yeah, sorry, other than continue this journey.
Okay, that's a
Just
good answer though.
continue.
That's a good answer. What do you like most about like I mean, you could have chose acting, you could have chose directing. Why cinematography? What is the draw for cinematography?
Um, Coming up with this right on the spot. Um, I think it is the tactility of the action. I think it is um, creating something that you can't really hold it, but I feel like I can hold it, right? Um, and almost as a way to create a foundation so that I can build upon it. For me, if I want to act in something, everyone is saying make your own work, right? If I want to act in something, I want to know how to make the something. So that way I can, better work with that. And I will tell you, I've been on sets as an actor since I have started this particular journey, and I feel more comfortable. I feel more capable because I understand what's going on around me. If there's a noise over there, and I'm in the middle of a scene, I know what it is subconsciously. I know it. I can just ignore it and continue acting and being present with that. So just in little ways like that, the 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 creation of visual work is the foundation of what I want to build everything else upon for me and what I want to do.
Wow. So do you do the editing also?
Yeah.
Wow. So tell me, give me the parts you've not done.
Oh.
Is there any part you've not done, just out of curiosity?
Oh, well, I don't know what the sum total of the list is because, you
Well,
know,
it's broad strokes. Like you've been behind the camera, you've been
uh-huh,
in front of the camera.
uh-huh,
You've also been the one editing.
uh-huh,
And you've been the producer.
uh-huh,
Have you been the director?
uh-huh.
Have you
I
been
have
in
not
charge of
composed yet.
sound, lighting, writing?
Sound, yeah, yes, I've written I've written a lot of what I've shot. I do the sound mixing as well as the sound effects. I've recorded a lot of Foley as well, which is just a lot of fun. I freaking love uh, recording Foley. Lighting, I've done, but I have so what I haven't done to answer your question very specifically, I have not composed yet. I have not
Composed
composed
music.
music. Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you definitely have some holes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm
Listen,
just kidding. I'm just
listen. No, 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 you're fine. You're fine. And when I say I've done these things, they are at all levels of the spectrum, right?
yeah.
You know, I would say they're at all levels of the spectrum, excluding the very top as well.
Yeah.
But you know, because there's always room to grow and figure out and discover more stuff.
So were you just acting? And I say just acting, that's all I do. Were you just acting when you were in Florida, or were you a part of other parts of the projects?
No, from a performance standpoint, in the arts, yeah, I was just acting when I got the chance to in Florida. My wife is a dance teacher. She taught at a dance school down there. So I did do one of their dance shows as like a special guest artist uh, 10 years ago. But that was, yeah, that was the artistic pursuits in Florida were limited.
Well, tell me your dance, like when you danced, what was your like I know so little about dance, like your style, your performance, like what was it about? Like was it
Uh,
Russian dance? Was it
sorry, what was it?
like
What?
was it Russian dancing?
Oh.
Was it tap dancing? Well,
Uh, I can tap a little bit, but don't give me a solo. The majority of my training is in ballet and jazz, um, and contemporary, and there's some weird stuff with shapes that I really like that I've done, um, which is kind of in the contemporary realm, but primarily ballet and jazz.
okay. I want to show you some pictures.
Mm. Uh-oh.
Oh no, no, no. I don't try to make anybody look bad intentionally, not intentionally.
Right.
So tell me what this picture is.
That is, we were shooting for Wicked Deeds. I think that was the last shoot day for chapter one. That is in a field out in Tecumseh. You had Michael Shedrick on, who plays Elliot in Wicked
Yes.
Deeds. Excuse me, he's the director and producer as well. But I think this is his uh, family's field on the last shoot day for Wicked Deeds Chapter 1. And we started at about 6 p.m. and we finished at 4 a.m. to
Oh
get,
my goodness. I
yeah,
can't
to get
figure.
all of those night shots in Chapter 1 that happened
Ugh,
that one night.
ugh. Painful, painful,
Yeah,
brother, painful.
it was painful, but it was enjoyable.
That's good. That's good. What do we have here?
That is the first shoot day for Chapter 2 of Wicked Deeds, and that is my garage.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah, when Jared Cash, who plays David, is slow motion, like beating to a pulp something that's just below the
Yeah.
screen, that was in my garage.
Wow. Okay, I saw that. And there's all the mics are there. That's good. All the mics are there.
Oh, yeah, they are. Yep. Uh-huh. And Amy, Amelia, and Joanna were there.
Oh, okay. And what in the world is this?
So this is, I was background in a film. I met a director in Florida called Phil Blattenberger, and this is his first feature film called Point Man. Um, Don't ask me to directly explain the story because he would do a much better job. IMDb does a much better job, and you should watch it to do the best job. But I he messaged me. I still had Facebook at the time through a mutual connection from Class X Studios in Orlando, asking if I was available for a 12-hour shoot day the next morning at 4 a.m. To drive out to a field in nowhere east of Orlando to pretend we were in the Vietnam War. And so
Wow.
that's what that was. And that was such an incredible day. I got 23 mosquito bites, but it was worth it.
Did you see any alligators? That would be the scariest part.
No, there were no alligators
Okay.
that
Okay.
bothered us at least that day.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So that Blue Shift, that's Jared Cash, who plays the chaser in the back there in the the blue 70s velour tracksuit.
Excellent, excellent. I like it. I
And
like it.
and this is Michael Shedrick here on the left. I came up with this very, very short concept film because I wanted to practice literally running around with a camera on my shoulder. That was the
Okay.
goal of this particular project.
This
So,
was a practice for you of a skill, but you actually made a movie out of it.
yeah, that's for me. If I want to learn something, it helps me to do it practically, as opposed to sitting around and doing a tutorial that doesn't have an end result that I'm kind of reaching for.
Yeah.
This is the best way for me to learn beyond concepts.
You know,
So, yeah,
I'm
go
so
ahead.
I'm gonna bring up somebody else. I had Jeffrey Sisson on, and he does special effects. He used to live in LA, and he lives in Kansas City now. And he was talking about like one of the best things for him learning the skill was there was a play, and he had to make someone into Frankenstein every night of the play. And so he got to practice. I was like how he got best at putting these things on and off. And I think
Yep.
it's like you kind of the same thing. Like I got better at it. I made a whole movie with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a 4 minute whole movie, but yeah, with a
Yeah,
lot of running.
that's great.
And this is so Stranger was a very big uh, another experiment for me. This was the longest thing I had written up to this point. It had no dialogue in it. I designed it to be music only. Um, and several of my goals for this one were to figure out what it takes to do, make a short film from a business perspective, from a
Yeah.
location scouting and rental perspective, from a choreography perspective, from a hiring a composer to create a new piece of work perspective. That was the crux and foundation of this story of this film that I built this story around, which is that's Katarina Fitzpatrick, and she plays a dancer who's kind of lost her mojo. Spoilers, she's separated from her shadow self, but they reunite at the end and dance together.
You know, that's so interesting. I don't see either of the mics dancing on this one.
No,
No mics, no
they
mics.
both helped out. So Mike Stang was in this in the bar,
Okay.
and Michael Shedrick was in the bar as well, and both of them helped on. We shot this in 2 days. When they weren't on set, they were helping on the other day with grip and equipment and all of
Yeah.
that stuff.
Did you dance in this one?
I did not. No, I was
Did your wife dance in
directing.
this one?
No, she did
Oh,
costumes.
you're answering no to all my questions.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is, I mean, you want to improv it? Yes. And you couldn't see me because I was invisible.
No, so that's it. I actually think I met Katrina Fitzpatrick in a Tanner Smith film.
Oh yeah. She was
Um,
just in, oh, I can't remember what it's called. Was
um,
it? I can't remember which one, but yeah, she was just
MS,
in one of his.
My
Yes.
Story. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she's awesome. She's an incredible dancer.
Yeah, that's awesome. And what's this?
That is, where are we? I think we're around Union Station there, but that is behind the scenes for a film, Nelly Dawn, the movie musical.
Oh
I
my
played
goodness,
it.
were you in that?
Yes, and I do dance in that. So
Oh my goodness. I actually saw it, but I didn't know you at the time.
no,
I
yeah,
didn't know to watch for you. What tell
that,
me about that. My wife and I went and saw that movie. I was so happy that it was in Kansas City and
yeah,
it was beautiful.
yeah.
Beautiful.
Terrence did a really great job with it, and we had so much fun on all the set days. What were you gonna say?
Oh, where were you in the movie? Like, did you have lines? Did you dance? Where did you dance? What scenes?
Yes, so I have a line in the club scene where we all dance in there. The scene starts with the girls doing a line, they're kicking and dancing and singing. And it's a there's a an underground casino that we're at,
Yeah,
cards and all of that stuff and smoking and everything. But then that turns into a song and dance before the cops come in and raid the place.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
What was
that
your
was a
line?
lot
Do
of
you
fun.
remember?
Uh, nope, I don't.
What was it about? Like
What
like
was
your
the movie
line?
about?
No, your line. Well,
Oh,
I'm,
I think I was telling the main mob boss that, something like, hey, we shouldn't really do this or something. Boss,
okay.
hey, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's good. I'm probably going to watch it again. I'm going to watch for you. I love to watch things when I know people in the movie, and that is one of the few local movies that I
Yeah.
did not know anybody in.
Ah, well, can't say that anymore.
Yeah, that's right. No, because I watch all the local movies. I always know somebody in the movies, but I didn't realize I knew somebody.
Mm, that is so there's Keisha and Maya there on the right, and this is a scene for the forthcoming chapter 4 of Wicked Deeds.
Oh,
And
okay.
we had just wrapped and had a great time and we're exhausted, but you got to grab a picture before you start packing up, otherwise you'll forget and you won't get it.
Yeah, that's a great picture.
So that's us, yeah. That day was so much fun. In the very beginning of 2020, I was Captain William Murdoch of on Titanic, so I crashed the boat.
Excellent, excellent work.
Sorry,
So,
not Captain, First Officer William Murdoch. It's been a
first
while.
officer, yeah.
Yeah,
So
First Officer William Murdoch.
tell me about this. Where was this at?
This was at the Arts Asylum when they were on Ninth Street, in that old, I think it was a very old church. That building was incredible. Um, but 3 weeks of shows and got to put on a Scottish accent. I played him a fully Scottish William Murdoch, to give me that uh, challenge. Had a blast with that. Sang and danced with a lot of
Wow.
great people.
You got to do it all there then.
Yeah.
And the last picture, that's my favorite picture. Tell me about what in the world is this?
We're at a wedding, and that's my wife and back there, and her cousin. I said, "Hey, take a picture of me," and I made a Gollum face.
That's the best picture in the group right there. So that's the one that should go.
That's the
The
yeah.
best one.
That's the core. Excuse me. That's the core of my personality. Doesn't come out very often, but
I
there it
like
is.
it. I like it. Um, so what have you learned as a cinematographer? Like if you were to give advice, like what would you say? Here's what I've learned, and maybe this will help somebody.
Um, Here's what I've learned, and maybe this will help somebody. Grab a camera, come up with an idea, go shoot it. Grab a camera. If you don't have an idea, walk around and find something to shoot. Um, get your hands on as many different cameras as you can. Um, People will say gear doesn't matter, and it doesn't to a point, but knowing how to use the gear that's in front of you does, right? The way that I look at different sensors from different manufacturers with different color pipelines and all of that stuff um, is almost as if it's a different type of film stock. So when you have a traditional 8, 16, or 35 millimeter camera, it's the film stock that really creates that particular image that you're capturing. And I'm ignoring the lens conversation right now. Um, but that film stock does make a difference in the sharpness, the sensitivity of the exposure that you're capturing and all of that stuff. So get your hands on cameras, borrow them, rent them. Don't buy them if you don't have to. And just experiment. For some people, and it's different for everyone. For some people, watching a tutorial telling you how to break down a behind the scenes from a lighting perspective and recreating a scene that way works. For other people, that might not. Figure out what works for you. That's what I've learned.
That's good. Um, is it easier for you to film inside or outside with natural light? Like what's the easiest way?
They both have their different challenges. Somebody asked me, we were shooting outdoors on an overcast day. I think it was Stephen Holland. He asked me, which do you prefer? Bright sun or overcast? Um, and for me, I think they both have their different challenges. What I was looking for was consistency between shots. So If it's bright sun, please stay bright sun. If it's overcast, please stay overcast. The you obviously can't affect that at all, but that's my preference for outdoor. For indoor, from a lighting perspective, it takes more time depending on if you have the practicals and the ability to capture the image with the amount of light that's there. If you don't, then you have to start bringing your own in or making adjustments or compromises.
Where can we see your work?
Um, it's all on YouTube right now. It's all on YouTube. You can, if you go to my webpage, it's centrellium.com, CINTRELLIUM.com. I also own 15 variations of that, so if you misspell it,
Wow.
it's probably going to go to the right place. Um, and then I have links to Wicked Deeds playlist there, and links to Stranger and Tutu Gabordo there, and Blue Shift there. They're all there, the things that I've shot.
Now you don't have Facebook though.
No, I did up until 3 years ago when it was just harming me mentally negatively, so I had removed it.
Good thing you're not on it now. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I that was a tough thing because I created that account in 2006, just after they opened it up. From you had to be have a school email address.
Hmm.
If you understand what I'm saying, we are dating ourselves. But that was a long account with a lot of memories, but I just could not exist at that time several years ago in that space anymore.
Yeah. On a totally, this is what I call my only BS question. All right, you've lived in Kansas City for years. You moved back. Somebody's coming to town and they said, I don't care if it's Kansas or Missouri. I want to go to where the best barbecue is and eat barbecue with you. Where are you going to take them?
Well, I prepared for this question. Um, the first answer is I'm gonna see if my dad's home and has time to create some of his delicious barbecue. He has this magical sauce, and the beans that he makes is incredible.
That's
Um,
awesome.
his burn ends are magnificent.
A nice
If
Kansas
he,
City fellow.
yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If he's not home or working, then we're gonna drive down to the West Bottoms and go to Chef Jay's.
You know, you're the like second or third person that said Chef
Mm,
Jay's, and
you,
I'm actually I had never heard of it.
yeah, you
What's good about it? What's
Oh, the brisket, the beans, the burnt ends, I mean, eh, you're not gonna find something there that's not good.
that's awesome.
Yeah, so good. We were location scouting for Stranger and discovered that place. So then we went back a couple of times and had some production meetings.
Yeah, that's great. Well, you probably need me to help you with that production meeting. I'm very
Okay, yeah, we'll
surprised.
we'll let you know.
I'm very
Yeah.
strong. You could carry my plate for me and all. Um, that's awesome. What do you think makes you good at cinematography? Or if you're too modest to admit that, what do you think would make you better?
Well, I'll tell you what I like about it, and then I'll tell you what
Okay,
I like
okay,
about it, what
okay.
I, you know what I mean, and then I'll answer the second half of your question. What I like about cinematography is the visual artistry of it, and every actor, every location, every time of day is different. It's a different challenge to try to create a beautiful image. Um, Working with the director and the actors in a collaborative form to bring that image to life, right? It's not just about pointing a camera. It's not a still picture. It's a moving picture. So that's what I like. That's what I love about it. What do I think will make me better at it? Um, just continuing onward, continuing to open my mind and listen for things that I haven't been able to hear before, whether it's somebody saying something and then that sparking an idea between the two of us, or if it's I use the word listen here for visual as well, just like being open um, to explore with other people to create that image is what will make me better.
Wow, that's a great answer. Do you like if you had the option, like right now, I assume you work full time somewhere like I do. Okay.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, if you had the option, someone said, okay, right now it's kind of your like a hobby or a fun activity or an artistic endeavor. We're going to make it into a career. We're going to turn you into a cinematographer. Whatever you're making now, you're going to make double. However, we're going to choose who you work with because I know right now you work with people you like and your friends and stuff. We're just going to put a team together of whoever we want, but you're going to make money. Would you do it?
Yeah. And
Okay.
who is this person I can call for this job?
Well, let's see.
Yeah.
L something or other. Yeah, I can't think.
Yeah, sign me up, man.
Have you
Like
seen
that's
there's a guy actually like who's advertising lots of stuff here in Kansas City?
where's the advertising?
Well, I say advertising. He's putting it in. The only place I've seen it is an actors and filmmaker. He is wanting to create a studio in Kansas City. He's from Austin, Texas.
Okay.
He's
No.
creating Tarzak. I was actually uh well, shouldn't talk about roles you almost had. I basically without this, I was going to be in it and I had to step down because they're filming in January and I can't really do
Yeah.
it effectively for what they wanted. So I'm going to be the narrator of Tarzak. Um, and so, but
Yeah.
he is looking at starting and doing a bunch of movies and having different groups. I don't know. I think it'd be worth
I love
looking.
it. Yeah. If whoever this is watching, call me.
Yeah, okay. I'll send you the information
Yeah,
too.
cool.
I'll write a note to myself. I'm writing notes
Great.
about you, but now I'm going to write it to myself.
Uh-oh.
Well, no, not that. Like it's basically like what I write notes on, like for the timeline, because I'm going to shave the first minute where we're saying, "Oh, can I see you?" Get in the middle, all that. So I write notes and I put stars by things that might become clips.
Hmm.
So like the cinematography, the creative, and all that, like at 6:13, I like it as a clip. However, for it to work because I asked the question, you didn't reiterate it, which is fine. That's just like conversation. I'll have to include myself. So then I think, oh, that was a great answer, but I don't know if I want to use it. So then I have to, like you, like basically like what you do.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah,
got
yeah.
you're like, oh, this would have been great, but I'm not sure. I don't
How
want
to
to be.
how to put that together. Yeah,
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 I
yeah.
don't really want to be in the clip, but I think I have to be to make the clip work. But that's your
Could you
best
do
clip.
how about a voiceover? Could you just
Yeah,
do a voiceover?
that's your best clip right there. So I might use it. I might use it anyway, but I don't like to be in the clips particularly. Um, but if someone like wanted to look at your work and they said, "Hey, give me two things to look at," what do you think you would give them? Maybe that's variety that would show your skill.
Oh, okay. Um, yeah. See, they're all so different. To me, I don't know if other people might see commonality between what I'm doing. They all kind of have this, except for Wicked Deeds. Well, no, chapter one of Wicked Deeds had this too. This sort of not ethereal, but sort of like mystical kind of vibe to it. You know, there might be a strange object, or you know, we're entering somebody's mind. And kind of seeing their inner world. Like I love that stuff. I love the exploring depth of characters in that way. So watch all of Wicked Deeds,
Okay.
every single second of it. And then the other item in that list, because you said two things, right?
Yeah.
Would be all of the other links on my website.
So if everybody watches everything, they will have an idea of what you can do.
Yeah, they might start getting an inkling of what I want to do. Yeah.
Um, so what motivates you to keep going? Because you've already um, you've done a lot with this, honestly, like
Oh,
with
thank
like
you.
your music, your dancing. You went, I mean, I think you went up pretty far. If you're actually on a tour group and if you're dancing and show, I mean, you're actually kind of reached what that's like what people want to do.
Yeah.
That's the equivalent of a Broadway play to me. You know, like this
Yeah.
is you've reached that level. Um, I guess with cinematography, like you don't like to do goals though. So like, how can I word it where he has to
Right,
hit
right, right. Yeah.
without using goals?
I've challenged you.
So what would be the equivalent of what you reached with dancing with cinematography?
Oh,
Like,
yeah, okay.
what's the equivalent?
Um, ooh. Uh, well, I don't know if it's actually possible anymore unless the theatrical run returns to a reasonable amount of time, but I would love to have something that I've been involved in creating visually have a full old school theatrical run, you know? Like a month and a half in theaters. Like that would just wow. And I don't even know if that's possible anymore, given where we are and where we're headed, from the distribution perspective. But beyond that, just to affect people, that would because when I'm performing on stage, it's not been any more than a couple of thousand people, but it's usually in the hundreds, right? Um, Enjoying a performance, affecting people who are enjoying what they're watching. That that would give me that sense of accomplishment.
That's a great answer. When you did theater, did it have that kind of feel of
Yeah,
all that? What do you think the biggest difference for you, because you've done both, acting in film, acting in theater, which do you prefer if you're going to act, and
right.
like what's the different feel between them?
Um, Proximity and it's yeah, I think proximity, closeness to the audience or the viewer. It's not bigger or smaller movements for me, because the show or the acting or the performance itself describes that, not necessarily the medium. Um, but when I'm acting and there's a camera right here, I feel that presence differently than a crowded theater and they're out there. The difference being there are real people out there versus maybe five people right here.
Mhm.
But that might affect the proximity vibe too. It's that's how I can describe the difference for me.
Do you feel like you perform better when there's an audience as opposed to a camera?
Mm, no, not better, not worse.
Okay.
It's just a different feeling, um, and type of performance.
Okay. What's the hardest part about being a cinematographer?
25-pound camera on your shoulder.
Does it get exhausting?
Um, it does the next day. Sometimes, you know what I mean? I'm good. I'm generally good throughout that shoot day, but if it's all shoulder mount camera, heavy camera, then I'm gonna want to sleep in maybe half the next day.
Yeah, why not use the tripod more? Like, what's the
It's a different type of shot. I would love to have a doorway dolly for everything where, the camera's on the end there and you can a Chapman or Fisher dolly, you can raise, lower it, extend it, you can roll, wheel the thing around. But there's that takes more time, that takes more money. Um, Sometimes it's just not possible. So, and then it does create a different type of look, an emotional seasoning to what you're capturing, uh, in a more steady camera versus not.
Yeah, that's interesting. So you basically prefer to hold the camera, even though it's harder on your body, you feel like it's actually a better shot.
Um, maybe, it's it's not about the shot. The shot should add to the emotional component of the scene and what you're capturing in the performance that the actors are bringing. What bugs me a lot, I'll tell you what bugs me a lot is when regular people will focus on wow, did you see what that camera did? Versus what the actors brought to the story and their characters. An example, I hope I don't upset too many people here, because I haven't seen Adolescence on Netflix yet, but I don't know anything about that story because the only thing people are talking about is how it's essentially a one shot per episode. No one has talked about the story to me for me to know what it's about, only that they did a lot of cool camera stuff, right?
Mhm.
Now maybe that did help tell that story, which is incredible, and I'm sure I'm sure that it did lend to that story. But without seeing it yet myself, no one has conveyed what that is to me. So I try to avoid the camera taking the focus away from the story and instead bring what I can to the camera and composition to add to and tell the story.
Yeah. What do you think would be the perfect project for you? If some, I mean, would, I mean, all elements, like not just the genre, but like someone else wrote it, or would it be better I wrote it? You know, like what would be the perfect
Uh-huh.
project?
Like encompassing, you're talking about the perfect encompassing all possibilities project for
Like
me,
some people would say, I would rather do a 4 or 5 minute short film that someone else wrote, where I'm the cinematographer and the director, or and it's a romance or what, like I mean, just whatever perfect
right?
project.
Okay. If you ask me this again in a year, it'll probably be different. But right now, I would love to act as director of photography on a fully funded, mid-budget feature-length film with a lighting gaff grip team where I can create the composition and act in that very particular role and camera op. So really, really work with an incredibly talented team of people to create, from a lighting and composition perspective, a very, very beautiful image. And I want to shoot it with a camera on my shoulder.
Awesome. Now, usually when you go out, you do the lighting and the sound both yourself, or is it kind of shared amongst
So yeah, I don't do on-set sound mixing. The sound that I do is in post, for leveling and all of that stuff. Recently, we've been working with Stephen Holland on Wicked Deeds, and he's just incredible. Um, and sorry, what was the beginning of the question?
No. Oh, now I forgot. I'm not smart enough. I'm listening. I
Oh
shouldn't be
no.
listening. I should be thinking. No, no, just you were talking. I wondered if you did the lighting, the
Oh
sound, everything. Like, do you get the lavaliers and put the lavs on people and do
no.
all that? No.
No, Steven is doing that. That is not something that I would want to do along with everything else. I would like to do that, in an experiment as that being the only thing that I do, a couple of times if the opportunity comes up. But that would be more in a kind of leisurely setting because I don't want, in a leisurely experimental setting, if you will,
Yeah.
for onset sound. But for lighting, I have my own lighting equipment that I'll bring. Once I know what the set is like, I'll create a master list of the lights that I'm going to bring, with the idea of how I can use them. And then I will. We've been really fortunate to have some good people help with grip and lighting, from the setting up perspective and if I've got the camera, I'm like, hey, can you cut that light down a stop? Excuse me, for me. And we've got I use aperture lights, so they have a really, really great app. So we link the lights to a little tiny little tablet that I have. So I can communicate with someone to help me create the light in the scene as I'm looking through the lens.
Yeah, that's awesome. How many shots do you normally do? Like, let's say there's you and I are in a scene together. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And I'm thinking an establishing shot from a distance, and then maybe close up of you for a couple, close up of me for a couple. then maybe one of us walking away. Like when you think about it, like I just it's very basic what I just said.
Hmm.
Would that be what you would think, or do you think beyond that for a scene, or like
Yeah, the scene really describes for me what shots we should line up. Um, so yeah, what you described, general basic triangle coverage, with an establishing. But are there any inserts? Are you doing anything with a prop of your hands that is important to the scene that we're doing? If we're just standing there and talking, then it can be a little more simple
yeah,
if that's what the scene calls for. But sometimes I do want to try stuff. Like if you watch chapter 3 of Wicked Deeds, when Michael Shedrick is walking down the park to meet Rachel Klawicki to have their little conversation. I'm following him with I flew a Red Raven, which is not the lightest camera on a gimbal. I brought it up from the ground so we could have that kind of swooping as we kind of move down to the right with him, and then we cut to the other more static shots. But
is a gimbal the thing around your waist so that you don't have to prop it up? What is the thing people put around their waist?
are you thinking like a steady cam, like
Yeah,
where they have
steady, like
they have
they
the vest and the arm comes
yeah,
off of
yeah, and
it? Yeah.
and they put it around their waist, and so it doesn't feel so bad on their back.
Yeah.
If
Oh
you don't
yeah.
have one, that's what you need, I think.
No.
That's like my prescription.
No, the what I used was a powered gimbal, so it's a three-axis head that steadies from that. I've not used a steady cam. I think if we do end up doing a steady cam, I might leave that to more professionals because there is there is very, very specific technique for body care and movement and all that, especially if you get like a Trinity head on the end where the camera's flying all over the place. I am happy to leave that to those who already know.
I don't even know what you're talking about, so
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
definitely happy to leave that for the. Uh, is there anything you wanted to talk about that I haven't asked you about that you thought, hey, this would be a good topic?
I'd like to know how your experience was with on Wicked Deeds. We're talking about Wicked Deeds a lot.
That's okay. No,
Um,
I really liked it. I really liked it. It went a little long, but the people on set were fantastic. Everybody's nice. I mean, I know Larry Goodry, like for years, and
oh, cool.
Michael Shedrick and I have been in something before, so I kind of know him a little bit. Yeah,
Did you play a boss in that one where he was
yeah,
uh
yeah. Where I was the boss,
yeah, and
and
you sent him out to do
yeah,
to
yeah. I
do some
sent
yeah.
out said Alec Bradley. I sent him out to the
Is it
country and Southern Fried
It's
Romance.
Alec. Yeah, it's Alec
Yeah.
Southern yeah, it's Alec.
These are probably my two biggest movies. Wholesome Grove with Eric Willis, and then The Best Day of Your Life with the Doherty brothers.
Oh, cool.
Those are my biggest things that I've done, and honestly, like I don't know if I want big roles very often. It's a
No,
lot.
why not? Why not?
Oh my goodness. It is so much work. And like I end up stacking on little project after little project. And, like even the thing like My Story with Tanner Smith, I'm in one scene. So I'm in the movie, but I'm not a big part of the movie. And the same with Tanner Smith Exile. I'm in the movie. Like it's Eric Willis movies. I'm usually have a little bit bigger role where I'm in 5 scenes, 6 scenes, or like this one, like 30 scenes or something.
Woo.
The
All
first to the
right.
last, a lot of damn work, I got to tell you. A lot of
Yeah.
best day of your life is like a little over an hour long. And the beginning, you can hear my voice and you can see me putting my little priest thing on. The last half an hour, I'm in like the most scenes of anybody, but the first half, I'm not even in. But it was good. No, there's another one, River Beauty. It's never come out. I filmed it in 2022
Oh, okay. Man, that stinks that
with
you
Robbie
haven't been able to
Lopez.
go
Yeah,
see it.
I would say those are probably the three biggest roles that I've had where
Cool.
I've had like lead or co-lead roles,
Very cool.
and about every couple years I can say let's do it, but I can't do it
Yeah.
6 months down the road
So
afterward.
you like to fill your tank. and then fill, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's about every 2 years I can do it. And I could probably do another one, but now I got this damn shoulder thing.
right. Oh
And it's
man.
like really frustrating. But
Well, I hope that was surgery, right?
yeah, I had
Yeah.
I had a shoulder replacement, total replacement.
Oh
They
my gosh.
cut off the bone here and they put a metal piece in and then
Ah.
it's from I could say two main things. One, I mean I have hit a lot of heavy bags over the years for one, and the other is when I first started bench pressing, someone told me the wider you go, the bigger your chest. So I did bench press wide as could go, and
Whoa.
I could do 350 pounds for years, like for a decade. I could do 350 pounds, never could get any more. My shoulders constantly hurt. I used to do pull-ups with 90 pounds strapped to me, and I did pull-ups, and I went all the way down and let my arm. I thought people were cheating when they didn't do. I
Oh
mean, I did
no.
everything to ruin my shoulders,
Yeah.
and like anything you could think of. I played pickup football games and hurt my
So you
shoulders.
went down the list of how can I
Yeah,
injure my shoulder more?
yeah, yeah. And they
Yeah.
actually even told me like my shoulder, not this doctor, but the previous doctor I'd gone to, he said, it looks like you've broken your shoulder at some point and it's rehealed. So there's a lot of scar tissue. That's why your left shoulder is worse than your right, is this one has a broken bone that's
Oh
healed
my
like on
gosh.
the shoulder. I don't know if he meant the socket or the other part, but that's why I like my shoulder. I've done everything I can to hurt myself
Yeah.
and I finally succeeded. Uh, so
Goal achieved.
the goal is achieved. Yeah. Well, what about you? So, like, do you like to write, direct? Like, you're doing all that other stuff as well. Do you
Yeah.
need to, like, does it fill your tank more? And I say just, I don't mean it as a discount, but like to
Yeah.
just do cinematography.
Right now, that's really where my heart and soul wants to be and live. I'm doing everything else so that I can generate the opportunity to do that.
Okay.
Even though I like doing, I love directing and I love writing. My I right now they are serving to give me something to create visually.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. I know Will Carter, he does directing sometimes for people's projects. I'm going to be in something of his where someone else wrote it and he's going to direct it. Someone else is going to film it. I don't know. It's almost like if you get with one of those little groups that does,
Yeah, that sounds like a film set.
yeah, like, hey, we got it.
Wow.
You write, I'll direct. I'll film. Yeah. What about editing? So, like, how did you learn how to edit?
Oh, I freaking love editing. Uh, the first thing that I edited, what was that? I can't even remember what the first thing was, but it was around 2006. When I really dove into it was Premiere Pro at the time. I use DaVinci now, but I learned originally on Premiere Pro, and actually a little bit before that, I was editing music for the dance studio that I was at. So I had NLE experience from music before I got into video in 2006, and then that was dormant until I started this latest, experiment going into it. But the concepts are the same, right? So it was learning new software as the new foundation, and then being able to experiment with that.
Wow. Wow. So, you like cinematography and editing. Those would be
Yeah.
your two. Does,
For
does
me,
one
go
make
ahead.
you better at the other?
Yeah, for me, all of it makes me better at all of the rest of it. Um, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a very visual person. When I think of the things that I am doing, I almost imagine them circling around a gravitational mass together and forming a more complete picture of the entire process.
Wow.
For me, obviously, no one can do everything all at once, and that's not my goal. My goal is to be able to understand as much as the entire process as possible so that I can communicate clearly with people in that same sphere. So yeah, for me, every single piece of it makes me better at other pieces of it.
Very good. I'm trying to keep things at about an hour, so I'm going to
No, you're
say,
fine.
do you have any final thoughts, any words of wisdom?
Oh. Um, oh. This is one I didn't prepare for.
That's okay. Here, I'll
Uh,
talk. I'll talk what you think. I'm going to tell you, it has been a pleasure to talk to you, and you are one of the most interesting people that I've spoken with.
oh my gosh.
You've had a fascinating life, and I like you more than before. I know you better. I like
Oh,
you more.
thanks.
So,
Thanks.
but yeah, what do you have to say? Final thoughts can just be goodbye, folks. Like,
See ya. No, final thoughts are uh, my final thoughts are going to be to me because I can't tell anyone else what to do, right? Um, so my final thoughts to me that people can take or leave are, uh, man, that sounds so weird. Um,
goodbye,
experiment.
folks.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, no. Experiment, be curious, never stop learning, challenge yourself, design things to do that integrate all of those skills. If you want to do it, take the time to figure out how to do it. You know what I mean? Blah. Uh, just give it a shot, man.
That's good. No, that's great final thoughts. I appreciate you and thank you so much for being on. I truly do appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a freaking blast, man.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.